Hey, this is Kapil again here. I just want to talk about right now this 8 stupid myth of entrepreneurship. Yay! Remember what I was talking about earlier? I mentioned that that the big the big myth is about that the big idea which you're talking about it. I'm going to start with that. That's the number one myth. That's like the worst thing which can happen to anybody who wants to be an entrepreneur. I have $1 billion idea. I have $1 trillion idea. Let's change the world. Now, not going to happen. Change yourself. Make a little impact. Do not get into this. I'll just do this huge thing, or it will take $1 million. If only I get money from an investor, it will all be fine. Not going to happen. Nobody's going to give you your money because you do not have credibility. And it's not that I'll build credibility when I have the money. It's like a big cycle. A lot of people in entrepreneur world, in a, like a job world, think they know it. They don't know jack. And I'm saying it with all humility, because I did not know jack, man. I did not know shit. Nothing. I just thought, oh, I have this thing I could get to. Until the time I focused on the big thing, I was failing. So the very first thing that people have, the myth, right? The myth of entrepreneurship. Whoa, I got the spelling right. I'm amazing. This is like, I never get it right. Or sometimes I do, but today I got it right. Right. So the number one thing, the big thing, and what, like somebody could argue that, hey, so what's wrong with having a big thing? Well, what is wrong with having a big thing is you will never implement it. And somebody will say, what if I do? Well, I would ask them that how many people have you known who actually had a big thing and actually just launch it like that? I actually can't think of anybody. Apple became a big thing. HP became a big thing. Microsoft became a big thing. Everything has a path. Like, I remember this Jack Welch book, like straight from the gut long back, when he mentioned that somebody, that he had to end up firing a guy in Europe when the strategy decided that they will be, that like when he decided the strategy that they will either be number 1 or number 2 in any business, otherwise they'll get out. So at that time, he decided to fire the guy who was having a Europe business. That guy had built up the business from 0 to 150 million, but he couldn't take it anymore. And he actually said it was one of the saddest thing I had to do, because he had done a good job, but I had to let him go because he couldn't have taken it any further. Now, some people will have this thing about, oh, it was an inhuman thing to do, and I'll forget about all this stuff. Important thing is that it takes time and energy to build the big thing. It's a journey. Everything is a journey. And what got you here will not get you there. In fact, it will probably become Achilles' heel. Means you will have certain fixed ways in which you do something, and you will stop. Unless you let go of that, you will stop growing. So the big thing can be beaten by, number 1, start small. I'm sure you're amazed at my amazing handwriting. And I know some people will say just write all capital, but I just can't write capital as well. It's like everywhere my writing is so phenomenal, or so bad that I just can't, I just write whatever I feel like. So apologies for that. Okay. So the next thing, start small. Next thing is basically here, learn and implement. Not learn and then implement. Get rid of the then. Don't say first learn, then implement. Each of us grew with this mindset that I've got to get to a level and then I'll take it to the next level. I've got to actually do sequential thing. Like I'm going to go into a college and then I'll have a great life. Oh, I'm going to get promoted, then I'll have a great life. No. I'll read a book and it'll change my life. No, that's not how it works. Contextual learning. So you learn and implement. There are like plethora of courses. Like I can talk about, especially about coaching industry. Everybody gets into it to make a difference. Everybody wants it. But what they do, they get into this learning. I'm going to learn. I'm doing a course. I'm doing an accreditation. How many of you here have wondered or asked me what's my accreditation? Nobody. And I can tell you, I've probably spoken to like 1,000 people. Maybe 3 have ever asked, hey, so are you an accredited coach? And I said yes, and none of them became my customer, because I don't want such people. I don't want people who are like, oh, this criteria has to be met, because they never make it. They never will actually go and grow in their life. fact is, I want to throw away this entire notion of sequential thinking. I'll first learn and then I'll implement. Then, the whole idea of big thing implementing, is that you go small. You learn something, implement it immediately so that you can get a feedback from the market, and then you actually deliver things which are valuable for people outside, rather than basically just trying to think of the big thing. The second thing is all about the transactional business, the transactional nature. I'm looking at it because I have written it down on a piece of paper. I don't want to waste your time. Transactional nature. Like people think, hey, you need something? I've got it. Here is the thing. Give me the money. That's how people look at business. People say, market has a need. I have the goods. Does not work like that. Doesn't work like that. It works in a commodity market. Hey, do you need a pen? Who needs a pen? Like, market doesn't need a pen. Let me go get a pen. I'll make money. Yes, works in that. But when you look at like today's world, where there's like commoditization of every single thing, it's not that market is a need, you fill it up. You have to go the other way around. I have something to give, and I'll create a market for it if I have to. Yeah, it just sounds like, whoa, originality shit. But no, I have something to give. As long as this is valuable for somebody, people will pay for it. A lot of people I talk to, I remember talking to this person like 3 months back. He had this idea like about doing something in the rural sector and providing education in that place. And why would he be good at them? Oh, I'm going to create an app. Like especially people in IT industry, I'm going to create an app to change the world. Not going to happen. Again, the big thing thinking. But I think there's a market need. A lot of people say, oh, I believe this is a marketplace. Look, I've been in this leadership position in Cognizant, in this company, and I've seen there's a need in the marketplace, there's a gap, and I'm going to be the person who will fill it up. Seriously, there are other people in the business. Why would they not do it? Now, that's not to discourage you from doing that. It's basically to tell you that the solution that you have, don't make it a solution centric. The market has a need, I'm going to go do that. Instead of that, build a relationship with the marketplace. Start going out there and do something for them. Now, it just seems like fairly straightforward to do. What do you mean by relationship? Yeah, of course it's about a relationship. Now, what I mean is differently. A customer comes to you, and let's say you do have a transactional business. I'm selling you this. You come and take it. And after that, you basically are gone. Now, the only thing I'm selling you is this, and you actually are going to come back to me if I have actually given a good this thing, if you remember, and I've kept, if I just hit myself, if I kept you aware of myself, then you'll probably come back to me. But per person revenue is so less. But what if I realize when you're coming to buy this and I ask you a question, do you have a board? You say, yeah, no. But I will write down where. Hey, do you have a way to distinguish this with a permanent marker? There are a whole lot of stacking of the services that you can do. And as a result, per customer revenue will increase. Now, while this is slightly advanced concept for most people who have not yet monetized the concept, I say start here. Start building a relationship. Start serving a need in the marketplace. This is also important because a lot of people think that, unless I'm at a certain level, I can't serve the marketplace. The fact that you're building a relationship with your customer, you may not be there yet at that level where you can actually make more money. But as you sometimes can actually have a journey with the client. Like client goes up, you just keep one step ahead. Just give them what they need. As long as you're going to continue to meet clients' needs, you build a relationship, and instead of it being a transactional business, you're going to have a better, more fulfilling relationship and the business with the client. Third thing is about passion. Like, people think, hey, if I don't know my passion, it's the end of the game. I've got to discover passion. Obviously, you want to have clarity. In fact, I have a 6 weeks program where I actually take people through this clarity journey, and about like 180 people have gone through it, and their life has been transformed because they were able to get an idea about, okay, this is what I want to do with my life. And so I'm kind of literally an expert because I've spent like 1,000 hours on this thing. My book talks about clarity a lot. So essentially, if I look at it, so I understand this part. So passion is really all about, what I think it's a good thing, and I think I can actually do this particular piece of work. Let me just try it out. Let me just dance it a bit. And if I find that I really, really feel exhilarated when I look at it, this is what I'm going to do. That's what passion is. And just to explain, let me give you an example. Um, when I was still in my doldrums about what should I do with my life, I had two things. One, I could have been a builder, because I actually love to do things with my hand. Like, the bathroom upstairs, I did. There's a deck, like, 8 meter by 4 meter deck, which I created in my and outside. I made a wall in my home. Like, these walls are like, really, if I hit it hard enough, it'll break, that kind of wall. But I made the entire wall, wood piece, everything. So I like to do things of my own. So I thought I could be a builder. And second, I'm obviously driven by contribution. Like, my massive best value is contribution. So I was doing, I want to do that as well. But I didn't know really where my heart was. And I actually did enroll myself into a course, because I'm like a massive action taker. I enrolled myself into a course, and I did that for a short while. And me and my friend, we went to buy a rundown property somewhere here in Sydney. And I was telling him, hey, these walls, I'll be done in like 3 days. I'll do this in like 2 days. And he's like, hey, Kapil, you don't have to do anything. You have to manage the show. And I was like, oh, no, I can't do this. This is the same shit that I was doing. I got to do it myself. Because a part of my massive identity shift was that I was so much of a unifier rather than my own hand and my own power, my own personal thing. So I danced around with that a bit, lost a little money in that, but I found my passion, made a big difference. So passion is like dance. It's like dating, It's like you find a person, you meet this person, you like this person, spend a bit of a time with this person. You say, you know what, it's just really working out very well. No, it's not. And then you actually move to the right till you find the right person. And that's what becomes your passion and your lifelong partner. Number 4, the pain. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's like, I don't know what did it, but people feel that in order to get somewhere, you have to go through the fire. You have to go through a lot of pain. Yes, Kapil, you had the first year of pain where you made like $17,600. It's shit, but you had to go through it. And I'm like, no, I did not have to go through it. That's the stupid thing I did. I didn't have to go through any of that. But I was thinking of me being the smart ass guy who can do everything, and I'm tapping into my significant amount of corporate experience to do something completely new and doing the stupidest thing an entrepreneur can do, which is not tapping into people who've already done it. So, big mistake. You do not have to go through the pain. You don't have to go through it. Learn from people who have. And if you're going to go and learn from YouTubes, you're going to get stuff. And here's one thing I also want to tell you. If there's no product you're buying, you're the product, right? It's a popular saying in advertising industry, right? You're the product being sold. So Facebook is free, but you're being sold there, So it's important that when you look at the free stuff, you absorb that, it won't make a cut. And besides, how serious are you about this? So the game changer here is actually about leverage. You leverage those who have done it, who have been successful. That's going to be changing the entire game in terms of you don't have to go through the pain. So this is the midpoint of the myth of entrepreneurship. I'm actually going to record the next set of 4 things after this so that it becomes like it's a sizable chunk and you can absorb it. Again, as I said before, please share your feedback on this. Please let me know what do you think about various element of entrepreneurship, and if you have a question about any of them, put into the comment or share with me, and I'll respond back to the best of my ability. See you later.